Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show y'all just how simple and easy it is to understand what fractions are and how to cut them in half. Okay, that's just all I'm going to be covering today, is what a fraction is and how to cut it in half. Okay, it's going to be simple, it's going to be easy. You'll be able to teach this to your kids, or your kids will be able to teach it to you after watching this video. So let's get started. Hi, I'm John and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to help y'all understand what fractions are, and I'm going to make it very easy for you to understand what fractions are. Okay, now bear with me here. This is my whiteboard and I'm using my cell phone because this is the only way I know how to do this. All right, but I'm going to help y'all understand what fractions are. Okay, fractions are part of a whole object. Okay, they're a fraction of an object. All right, we have one object, we have one. All right, I have one pencil and it's in one piece, so I have one of one piece. Okay, the bottom number is how many pieces there are, the top number is how many pieces I have. There's one piece of the pencil and I have it, so I have the whole pencil. Are you with me so far? Let me see how this is looking on there. All right, you can see it. So let's say I break this pencil in half. Okay, let's say I go like this and snap it in half. Well, it's not exactly in half, but it'll work for the demonstration. Okay, now I broke this pencil in half. So now I have two pieces of this pencil, right? I have two pieces of this pencil and I have both pieces in my hand. So therefore I have the whole pencil, right? I can put these two pieces back together and I still got the whole pencil, right? The bottom number is how many pieces there are of an object. The top number is how many pieces you have, okay? So any number over top of itself, like that, is a whole number. It's the whole object. So you would have the whole object within your possession. Okay? So we're going to go like this. We're going to draw a line across here. Okay? And we're going to put 1 over here. And we're going to start with 0 over here. Okay? Now, I have 1 over 1, and I have 2 over 2, because I have the whole pencil and I have two of the whole two pieces that the pencil is broken into. Now let's say I want to break this pencil into two more pieces, right? Let's break this down even more. There we go. We now have 4 pieces, right? This pencil is in 4 pieces. I have all 4 pieces. The pencil's in 4 pieces. I have 4 pieces. So I have the whole pencil because I have all 4 pieces. Now let's say I want to give you 1, or no, let's say I give you 3. I give you 3 of those 4 pieces. Okay? I just gave you 3 of those 4 pieces of that pencil. All right? You now have 3 of the 4 pieces. You have 3/4 of the pencil. I now have 1 of those 4 pieces. That means I have 1/4 of the pencil and you have 3/4 of the pencil. Now let's say I take one piece of that pencil back. Now you have 2/4 of that pencil and I have 2/4 of that pencil, right? I have 2/4 of the pencil and you have 2/4 of the pencil. 2/4 is equal to 1/2. Okay? I have 2 pieces of the 4 pieces of pencil. Therefore I have half of the pencil. You have 2 pieces of those 4 pieces of the pencil, which means you have half of the pencil. 2 is half of 4. Any number that is top number, any top number that's half of the bottom number is half, equal to half. 3 over 6, 3/6 is half. Why? Because 3 is half of 6. 4 is half of 8. Therefore, it is equal to 1/2. If the top number is half of that bottom number, it is equal to 1/2. All right? So, that is fractions. I have 4 pieces here now of that pencil that I broke up. And because I have all 4 pieces, I now have the whole pencil. Okay? But I want to give you 1 piece. And I'm going to keep 3 pieces. Now I have 3 of the 4 pieces. That means I have 3/4 of the pencil. You have 1/4 of the pencil. You have 1 of the 4 pieces of the pencil. Meaning you have 1/4 of the pencil. I'm going to give you another half part of that pencil. I now have 2 of the 4 pieces, and you have 2 of the 4 pieces. Again, you have half of the pencil, and I have half of the pencil. All right? Now, I hope that helps you understand fractions and what fractions are. And let's do this next. Oop, I moved my whiteboard. Hold on. Let me make sure we're still good. Yep, we're still good. Let's come back over this way just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I'm trying to stay out of the line of the light here, so stay shadow free. There we go. All right, let's try brown. See if brown will show up better. Okay, so let's put our line back up here. We'll have 0 here, and we'll have 1 over here. All right. We're going to put 1 over 1. Now I'm going to show you in this part of the video how easy it is to cut a fraction in half. All right? How easy it is to cut a fraction in half. So we have 1 over 1, right? We have one piece of the, we have one marker. What? One marker. We have the whole piece. Let's cut this fraction in half, shall we? How do we cut this fraction in half? It's easy. It's simple. We just double our bottom number. Huh? Double that bottom number. Take it from a 1 to a 2, and you just cut your fraction in half. Now let's cut this fraction in half again. All right? You keep that top number, and you double that bottom number. Okay? So we have 1 over 1, which is our whole pencil. We can say, oh, you can use our pencil again, right? We have the whole pencil here. We want to cut it in half. How can we cut it in half? Well, we double that bottom number, and we have 1/2. We want to cut that fraction in half again. We double that bottom number, and we have 1/4. Okay? Now, where is our 3/4? I know, our 3/4 would be right up in here, right? 3/4. Right? We could cut 3/4 in half. All we got to do is double that bottom number, right? What would 3/4 be if we double that bottom number? It would be 3/8. All right? Where would 3/8 be? 3/8 would be right here. We just cut our fraction in half. We have 3/8. It takes 2/8 to make a quarter, because it would be 8 pieces in here, right? If we had this broken up into 8 pieces, 3/8, that's almost a half. That's 1/8 shy of being half. Remember, if this was a 4 and that was an 8. 4 is half of 8, so it would be half. But we only have 3/8, so we're 1/8 shy of being a half of a pencil, right? So we have 2/8, then we have 3/8. We have another 3/8, right? Here's 1/8, here's 2/8, and here's 3/8. Let me show you again. This right here is going to be 1, 2. 2/8 is 1/4, right? 2/8 is 1/4. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 8, 4, right? So 2/8 is equal to 1/4. Then we have 3/8. We have 4/8, 5/8. We then have 6/8. 6/8 is 3/4. How do we know? 3 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes 2 goes into 6 3 times. 2 goes into 8 4 times. Right? We divide it by 2, right? So 6 divided by 2, 3. 8 divided by 2, 4. So 6/8 is 3/4. 5/8, 4/8, 3/8, 2/8, and then 1/8 would be right here. We're just breaking our line up into eighths. This would be 7/8 right here. And then here we would have 8/8. So we would have a whole. And that's how simple and how easy fractions are. The bottom number is how many pieces there are. The top number is how many pieces you have in your possession. Right? And to cut your fraction in half, you double your bottom number. It's that easy. Just double your bottom number. I want to cut 7/8 in half. How do I cut 7/8 in half? Well, I can double the bottom number and say 7/16. But now we're getting even smaller. Right? So what is 7/16 equal to? Is it equal to something or is it all its own? Right? So we can go, there's 2/16 per eighth. Okay? And 2/8 per quarter. Right? Because we're doubling everything, right? Because we're doubling that bottom number. So we'd have 2/16, 4/16. Up here would be 8, so we'd have 7/16. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 7/16 would be right in here. It's not equal to anything, it's just 7/16. Join me in my video next week when I show you just how easy and simple it is to double fractions. Okay? And then we'll start doing subtracting fractions and adding fractions. I'll show you that as well. Simple, easy to understand. Again, join me next week. Don't miss out. Well, I hope you liked and enjoyed that video, and if you did, please hit the like, subscribe, and share and notification bell. It would help me out greatly. And remember, knowledge is a good thing. Truth in knowledge is an even better thing. And true knowledge, that's power.